Well, hello there. It's the Peanut Craft dude on the Rubik's Craft server. It's been a second. It's been a hot second. I've been a busy bee, as some people used to describe people who are busy. They call them bees for some reason. Might be actually kind of insulting. I don't think I'm as zippity zoppity as a bee, but I have been busy. I've moved. I've been trying to move, or I should say my family's been trying to move for a while now, and it finally happened. And it just took a big chunk of time, as well as I also went camping for 2 weeks. 2 weeks straight in Northern California. I'm showing some of the pictures I took on screen. I haven't done photography in a very long time, but it's something I very much enjoyed back when I did used to do it. So I decided to take a good old DSLR with me and try to get some good shots, test my hand at photo editing, and I'm really happy with how these ones turned out. So it was a great trip up to NorCal, and then I had to move, which basically took me out of video commission, wrong pickaxe, for like a month. So I just have not been making videos, but I'm back now. So there you go. And basically, what we're doing right now is we're collecting some of this blue netherite here, right? It's called warped nylium. I don't need that much of it, but I'll just grab some extra just in case. And the reason I'm grabbing this is because we're going to be making a warped stem and crimson stem. I think that's what they're called. We're gonna make farms for those trees because I need a lot of them for the puzzle house, and whenever I need a lot of something in this series, I'm gonna actually try to make a farm for it. So that's what we're gonna do today, but that's not all we're gonna do. In between episodes, I actually had a discussion with Apollo, who's also on this server, and we talked a little bit about Bookcoin as well as their upcoming shop and stuff, and I just want to show you some of the clips from our conversation right now.
Hello there.
Oh, whoa. Oh, you gotta be careful there. You're going straight in. Apollo. This is an important conversation. You know why?
Why?
Because you're actually, probably undoubtedly, the majority stakeholder in Bookcoin. Did you know that? I mean, you probably did, right?
I mean, I bought 6 right off the bat.
You bought 6 right off the bat. So I'm pretty sure no one else has at least 6. So you're not only an early supporter, but also probably majority stakeholder. And look how far it's gone now. Aren't you glad you bought when you did? 17 diamonds.
I am so glad that I bought.
Yes, of course.
When I did.
And that's a lesson to all you rascals out there who are saying this is a scam. Psh, nah. But also, I've been trying to get some business partners just to kind of raise the awareness of Bookcoin and give more incentive for people to raise these numbers up here, right?
Yeah.
And Apollo here, my earliest supporter of Bookcoin, came to me with a business proposition with your brand new shop opening up eventually, right?
It's actually opening up here pretty soon. I just have to finish moving all my stock in.
Okay, well, there you go. Do you want to take me to it?
Yeah, let's go.
We were also both carrying the talking totems, right? And it's because we mean business. That's what it really means. You know,
truly.
There's a method. It might come from ancient therapy tactics called the talking stick, where when one person holds on to it, they're allowed to speak, and then they pass it along the room. But guess what? In business, we all talk, because we all talk business. That's what this is about.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, this building is still under construction.
Yes.
But it is safe to go in.
Yeah, if this place wasn't fortified, I don't know what would be fortified. Do you want to give me a quick little tour of what this is all about?
So Ruby Mart, there's a lot of things not being sold in Spawn, like redstone, dust, and redstone blocks. That is annoying. So I'm going big or going home.
Right, of course.
And this is just the start of going big. This is the biggest build I've ever built in my life.
Yeah, this is quite a start too.
Oh yeah. This that we're standing in is going to end up being the showroom.
This is the thing that drives me crazy the most when I go into shops, is when they don't have end chests. And then this season, I keep forgetting to put them in my own shop, so I don't even have a place to complain anymore. But look at that. You got 4 of them. No, it's okay. I have one.
I crafted over a stack.
Okay, yes, please. I'll take one, definitely. Thank you. I'll definitely put that in my shop.
But let me take you into the first room, which is probably the most important.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be the redstone room.
Right. Gosh, look at how towering these shelves are.
Yeah, the top ones are just for decoration.
Okay.
You can only really reach it if you jump here, and then it's a maybe.
may I say, I really like how you stagger the chests too. So it looks like, you know, boxes on a shelf like you might find in a warehouse store, which is kind of cool. Because if they were all just evenly placed, I think it
would look so annoying.
Yeah, I think this really sells the picture.
The thing where your book coin comes in.
Yes.
Are these, hold on, let me get up here, deal pillars. This is the redstone room. So this box will be full of redstone supplies.
Right.
Like comparators, blocks, dust.
Yes.
Observers, dispensers. Everything will be in this box, at least a stack of each, probably.
Oh, that's beautiful, actually. And so the idea is that one book coin would get you the whole box?
Exactly. And depending on what book coin is at, it could either be a deal. So it would just depend on if people are hoarding their book coin.
Right. Which so far that seems to be the trend. But it just takes one person to sell. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this idea just because it's also helpful. Just a helpful thing to buy, you know. If you don't already have book coin, I could totally see someone coming in and be like, ooh, I want that, let me go buy a book coin real quick. So I'm seeing you got these deal pillars in between all of the shelves then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting. I love how incorporated it is too.
So I forgot to say, but the vibe of this is corporations are evil. We all know this. So the outside is supposed to be evil and menacing, and I wanted to bring some of that inside, but also have that bright interior that corporations give off. They give
like
off
fluorescent
light,
lights, you know.
Yeah,
of course. There's definitely some irony with the mega corporation working with something as ethically good as cryptocurrency.
Yes.
There might be some irony there, but you know what matters most? What matters most is people get what they want with no shadiness whatsoever, right?
I'm gonna be building a moss farm with a silo storage underneath with shulker compactors and unpackers.
See, this is a good example of the difference between Rubik's Craft members and myself. Also a Rubik's Craft member, but my industrial season is like, you know, maybe 5 tiny farms that barely help me get by. While an industrial season for a seasoned player like yourself is quite literally all out.
Well, I haven't actually been here that long. This is only my second season.
Really? You know what? Yeah. I hope you take this as a compliment, but you give off seasoned player vibes, you know? I feel like
Thank you.
The server looks up to Apollo, you know? And you know what's going to make them look up to Apollo even more?
What?
As soon as Apollo has book coin deals. Rubik Mart is an IKEA-based shop that's a little easier to navigate despite its larger nature. We provide many materials here at Rubik Mart. Pro tip, we accept book coin here. I love how quickly you got to the book coin. That's great.
Exactly. I wanted people to know.
A wild Nate appeared. If we stare at him like very intently, he might leave. He also might not leave. Well, if people want to let me finish reading the book coin stuff at least. We are going to have deal boxes. Within these deal boxes are going to have items according to the price book coin is at the time it is made. You may pay your book coin in a barrel below the box, then mine the box. Oh, so you get to keep the box too. Well, that's very convenient. That's awesome.
That is something that I feel like is needed.
Yeah, I as someone who doesn't have any boxes, I really wish.
Do you need some boxes?
No, please. You've already given enough. I can manage a box at some point.
I promise you, I have enough. We'll also be selling shulker shells here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I actually probably will buy from here. I might just skip the end to this whole season. Who knows? We'll see. Well, yeah, I think this is gonna be a pretty good partnership right here. To all the people out there who are wondering how this works exactly, basically, Apollo gets the book coins, and then Apollo keeps the book coins, and then Apollo can cash in those book coins whenever Apollo wants to.
Exactly.
But, yes.
So I basically control the book coin market now.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, you already own most of the stuff. My only real stakes in this is just trying to see how high I can get that book coin value. I'd love to add a second story that just lets the prices go up and up. The last thing I want to mention with this partnership, and it's something you could think about, but we do have a sponsor box that's inside of the Cryptocurrency Hall. And the idea is that partners can put in kind of like samples in a way, but Not necessarily free. It's just anyone who buys a book coin also gets to keep whatever is in the barrel, right? So it entices people to get more book coin, as well as just gives word that, hey, your shop is out there. Like, I didn't even know your shop existed until I happened to stumble across it, you know?
Yeah, I haven't even built the path up to it either.
Of course. So if that's something you want to do, feel free to put some stuff in, and then I can change the sign to say currently sponsored by Apollo's shop.
Yeah.
And then there you have it.
Yeah, I even have some map art that I'm planning on doing.
Ooh, gotta love map art.
Yes.
Nate's back. Stare at him. He might leave. Also, Octo said hi. I guess I was AFK here a little too long because Octo left me a sign, which is very nice. I like Octo. I like Sir MTT also. I like Rubik's Craft. We should conclude our business first, right? With the ceremonial trading of talking sticks. That is essentially our form of a handshake, right?
Exactly.
So as soon as we drop it, the partnership has been made, and now may we both. I mean, really, it's benefit for you greatly. It doesn't really do that much for me, but that's okay. I just want to see Bitcoin rise. That's what it's all about, you know?
Exactly. And I want to help your cryptocurrency rise to the top of the world.
Cryptocurrency. You know?
Cryptocurrency.
There might be copyright issues, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
And thank you for the totem, and then the trading of the totems. And I think of course. I think we're gonna create a beautiful server from this. You know, that's all. I
definitely agree.
Yes. So as you can see, we have a pretty good partnership lined up with Apollo, and that store is super impressive. That was recorded a few weeks ago, and the store's not quite open yet. But when it does, I'm sure the Bookcoin deal should be enticing to at least some people. In the meantime, yeah, we've got some cool roads being built around here. Spawn's been shaping up. I feel bad because I haven't contributed to that. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to do that. But what I wanted to do quickly was, after all these paths were made, I was like, you know what, it'd be nice if there's an easier way to get over to the Bookcoin shop. Not just for me being able to check the current values, which, by the way, the current value of Bookcoin is 20 diamonds for one Bookcoin, which is pretty cool. I might, if it gets too high, I might have to make another floor with more pricing options, you know, just keep it going up. But yeah, what I want to do is make a quick little pathway, and someone else already did this over there, but I wanted to do it as well, and that's just with drip leaves. So it's going to be a little bit of a parkour pathway, not like a difficult one, but one that might be a little bit fun, while also just making it easier for people to get to their Bookcoin. You know, everybody wants to get to their Bookcoin easier. I've been reading everyone's comments, you know, in the Discord. Interesting. I guess these are different orientation, but that shouldn't be an issue. Probably like right here. Not trying to make it hard, but I still want to make it a little fun, you know? Maybe we'll actually diagonal it a little bit. Oh, can I not place it on sand? I guess I can't place it on sand. Let's see. Is this too far away? It might be. It's a little bit of a dangerous one. Maybe let's angle this one right here instead. But yeah, I'm going to plop these down. I also want to connect these over to that bridge. So we're going to have it go up at some point to there, but we're also going to give it a straight shot. What's nice about these is they don't disrupt the boats too much. In fact, I could make them a little bit higher if I wanted to. But also, now that wings are kind of everywhere, I don't think boat travel is as important. But we'll at least leave some passageways through. It's also worth mentioning that I released this little axolotl into the waters that spawn, because why not? It's just going around killing some fish and squid, which is pretty funny. And here's the finished version of it. It's not too challenging. You just kind of have to have a little bit of parkour experience, but as you can see, I made it go up a little bit and then go down a little bit as you get to spawn. And I added a little branch over here too, because a lot of times I take this stone bridge and then I just cut through the water this way anyway. But now I don't have to. I could just hoppity scotch and make my way down. Pretty easy stuff. I don't want it to be hard. I want to be able to get to my shop. That's the only weird jump right there. I might adjust that. But for the most part, I think it's looking good. I left a decent... The reason I like the arcing is because it gives more space for boats. So even if they have some trouble getting through these ones, they definitely have some room to get around there. Again, boat travel's not going to be much of a thing anymore on the server now that everyone's got wings, except myself. That's something I need to work out at some point. But you know, it's still nice to have the option. You know, we do have a free boats chest right here, and a sign that says that the sign in front really hurts. At a time it did. Now it's been highlighted. Also, you could just edit the back of signs right now. This is like the back of a sign. I don't want to show the front because it's not a very video friendly sign. But that's kind of crazy. We're in the 1.20 update. I haven't even mentioned that part yet. Look at that too, by the way. Let me just talk about that real quick. Also, I found skeleton horses, which is pretty cool. I might use them in the decoration for my shop at some point. I don't know. Look at this. This really just popped up while I was gone, I think. This is, well, I'll read the sign over here. It'll say, casino is coming soon. Now, I don't want to show necessarily what's in there. I don't know how much this server really cares about spoilers, but just in case I don't want to show on the inside. But look at this outside. It's looking really, really cool. It's also a huge space, and it's looking like that's probably just a farm. But I wonder what else is going to go out here because there's so much real estate. But I think it's kind of funny because this giant casino is being built behind my my Bookcoin shop. And we're essentially creating a gambling district over here, which is pretty funny. Not that Bookcoin's gambling, no. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. Ooh, can't look too much in there. But if there's here's the thing. I love gambling in Minecraft. I don't like it at all in real life, but in Minecraft, it's a lot of fun. So I can't wait for that to be built. Anyways, just want to show that off. Let's get over to the project of the day, though. Okay, so I may have been a little bit dishonest when I said I was making a warped stem farm. That's not exactly true. My brain wasn't thinking of the right words. We are making a farm to get warped stem and crimson stem. That's what it's called, right? I don't even have any in here. That's how much I need them. Yeah, crimson stem. What we're actually doing is a farm to get this other stuff, the warped fungus and warped roots, and then maybe even some other things. I think it's only those two, and crimson roots and crimson fungus. We can use the fungus to then create the stems. Also, look, we've got a little sign that's hanging now, 1.20, that just says blocks right here. I don't know if I like it yet. We'll see. But other than that, this half of the storage room is done. Like, look at it. It's finished, which is pretty cool. I got all the blocks selected here. I may have forgotten one or two. I don't know. We'll find out in the future. And then I just need to carve out a giant thing over this way for the items, and that's where the hopper's going to continue. But I want a beacon for that, and all the stores have been sold out of beacons for a long time. So I might even have to fight the Wither myself. I'm not sure. But we'll figure that out another time. Yeah, as some people have pointed out in this update, I think currently sleeping does not reset the rain timer. It makes it go away, but it doesn't reset it or something. Could be wrong. We have a lot of redstone stuff here, though, in order to make this happen. We've got pistons, observers, redstone dust, repeaters, and I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we need, as well as the warped nylium and the crimson nylium. Now, this design is technically my own. I went into creative and made it. But of course, it's not a revolutionary design. I've seen the concept done several times before. So the concept is not mine, but the farm itself should be mine, which means it will probably be less efficient than other people's farms. That's just the way it usually goes. I have to be careful with where I place this. Things like this isn't permanent, so I'm not worried about putting it near close to these things. It's more about whether or not I want to build a structure around it, which I think I eventually do. I think maybe right here is a good spot to do it. My plan is to try to make structures around a lot of these farms. Over by the kelp, that farm made sense because it was connected to the water. Over here, I need to make sense with buildings, I think. And we'll talk about that more down the line. But first, I need to clear out a spot. Let's just pick this spot right here. A little bit of a box, and we'll get this design going. Okay, I dug a big pit, and I made the floor stone brick because no one's going to see this floor. This is just the redstone floor, but I want it stone brick so I don't accidentally mine into it if I'm ever digging up. Basically, it's you know, it needs some space. I'm not a very compact redstone artist. I'm not a redstone artist at all, to be frank with you. This is going to be the very edge, which is also where we're going to be putting our pistons. So what we need to do first is put a line of stone brick like this, and that's just going to have a redstone line on top of it, and this is basically going to connect to our timer system, and the timer will be activated by the start button, and once we have a timer activated, pistons will start moving. But what we need to do is now place some observers facing this redstone, like so. There we go. And then we just put down our pistons like this. Just regular pistons will do fine, because we're not just pushing and retracting, we're actually pushing from both sides. So I'm going to build the exact same thing over on this wall, and that way we have two piston stuff working together. Okay, and I got it on both sides now. I readjusted proportions because I realized I got that wrong. We're going to make a very, very simple timer. The way this timer is going to work is basically, I hope I can do this right. I believe we're going to put this here, and then a repeater and a block like so with a torch attached to it. And redstone that goes down like this to this repeater with another block here with a torch attached to it. This will theoretically create a very simple timer when activated properly. I think I did that right. Aha, okay, I fixed it. This is how bad I am at redstone. I don't even know the most basic timer by heart. But basically we just use one redstone torch. That's kind of the big difference. 2 blocks, 2 repeaters. And right now this torch is lighting up this block, which lights here. As soon as we turn this on, that sends signal to here, which turns off the torch, thus creating a timer because it gets caught in a loop. As you can see, those pistons are just having the time of their lives right now. We're obviously going to deactivate that so we don't have to listen to those pistons forever, but the timer will still continue on. Now, how we stop this timer, it's actually really simple. If we add a redstone right here and another one right here, and then if we just put a little redstone torch right here, this torch keeps this light on, so there's no repeating happening. This is how we're going to turn our system off, basically. By default, this torch is on, and when we go up here, and simply place this right here, and hopefully, yes, I have enough stuff to make a lever. This is going to be our on-off system. By putting it right here, we flick it. Oh, and I forgot, I'm going to have to put a redstone right here. There we go. And the timer is back on. So that's how we turn it on, like this. It's off. Very, very simple, right? And that is the premise of how this whole farm works. Now, I guess I should probably explain why we are using pistons. So I've laid down the nylon. Nylon? Or is it nylium? I guess nylium. I've laid down the nylium. I've got both colors going on here. You'll notice I have red spot on the blue and the blue spot on the red. That is actually because of the way we're growing it. Whenever you bone meal a nylium, it takes it's a 2-block radius around it that it will grow stuff, right? So if I click right in the center, stuff pops up all the way around up to the edge here. And because I put it on a blue nylium, it grows the blue plants, right? While if I put it over on the red on this side, not a very good example, but it would grow all the way over to the sides, basically. And as you can see, it's growing the red stuff. What's interesting is it still grew a red fungus. So I guess these can still grow different color fungi, even if it's on one thing. I don't know. It's not showing an example. I don't know. Maybe it's a rare thing. Who knows? But yeah, they grow on their respective sides. Now, obviously, I lined this up with the pistons, and if you couldn't tell already, essentially, when we activate these pistons, it's going to push the blocks over to this side, and then it's going to push it back, which destroys the stuff on top. So, clearly I did something wrong here. Well, okay, I ended up fixing it, and then I accidentally broke the demonstration. So I guess I'll plant one more time right, I guess it would be here now, and right here. Now when I turn it on, I thought I fixed it. What am I doing wrong here? Something's happening wrong. It could be... I remember running into this issue. I just gotta remember how I fixed it. Okay, I can't... the rain just started as I started recording. Okay, I can't explain exactly how it's fixed, but basically what I did was instead of connecting the redstone to this light, which I think this torch would be affecting potentially, I connected it over to the redstone torch over here, but also I made the light come from this block, which added a tick delay, which is why I think in my creative testing, I had this at 2 ticks, while this one's only at 1 tick, because they don't want to be going at the same time, right? I can't fully explain how the timing of that works, but I can show you in live action it working. That's the point here. So if I just place some of this down, I turn this on, boom, it crunched it up, right? However, we're not just crunching it up one time. We're crunching it up constantly, which is why we have the pistons moving back and forth, which means it's time for the next part of this machine. Okay, so basically we want a system that will automatically feed bone meal to the blocks above, which is pretty cool. You can actually bone meal the bottom of a block, which will grow things on top of it, right? We're going to put our dispensers here in a little bit, but first let's set up the other stuff. We're going to put an observer here facing this one. No, that's wrong. The observer needs to face the other way. So we're actually going to put a block here temporarily, right so, and like so. And then we're also going to put on this side a little piston right, where's my pistons? Here we go, a sticky piston specifically right there. And this one is going to be, I guess, facing this way. So we're going to need to put a temporary block right here and like so. No, I got to finagle with it a little bit. Observer placing can be a little annoying. Like so. There we go. Yeah, that should work. Basically what this is going to do is when these two guys start looking at each other, they go a little crazy. You know, sparks start flying. And they basically release a ton of redstone signals. And it's going to repeatedly activate the dispenser that we put right here, which has the bone meal. So it'll be repeatedly bone mealing that up there. So that in combination with the pistons should make a pretty good farm. And now that we got that hooked up, we can put our dispensers down here like that. And then this one is going to be on this side, I think, right? Yes, there we go. It's always going to be offset by 1, right? Which is going to look a little bit weird, which is why I think I might put a building over it. Plus, you know, it's just a bright red and blue color. I'm not sure if I want that displayed in the sky. So we might enclose this in a building. I hooked up the start button to both these pistons, right? So the second we turn this on, I don't know if you can see that, but these guys are going crazy right now, and this dispenser's going. If I put something in here, just like string, boom, it's gone. You know, it shoots it out. Sorry if the redstone noises are loud. I'll turn it off now. Shifting sandlands. Okay, just like so. Yeah, and then of course I need to put this thing back here, and this one back. Ooh, that got a little messed up. That shouldn't happen once this is already set though, like so. And yeah. There we go. Now we just need to put a ton of bone meal in here, which is a little bit of a problem. I don't have very much bone meal. In fact, that little parkour thing I made today to get to the book coin room used up most of my bone meal, and I've got like 3 left over. So I do need to farm a bunch of bone meal. I want to have a system hooked up to where I feed bone meal directly into these dispensers. So I'll probably have a line of hoppers going out this way, but of course, in order to do that, we're gonna need infinite bone meal. We currently don't have an infinite bone meal farm. So I think that's just what we're gonna call it for today's episode, because that's as much progress as we can make on that. I don't even know how to get a good thumbnail of this pretty ugly machine, but I think if we do this here, maybe that'll work. I don't know. We'll see. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll talk more about the puzzle house, I'm sure, in the next episode and the changes that have gone on there. But in the meantime, thank you guys. Leave a like if you want to, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. So take care. So long. Get off cords. Goodbye.